Chapter 965. Although the Bentley was a luxury car brand, an ordinary Cayenne was just over $2 million. German's Volkswagen was considered a common car brand too. However, the Phaeton was a very rare and expensive model. The top-spec Phaeton was worth more than $3 million, which were equivalent to the top-spec Audi A8, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and BMW 7 Series. Earlier, Ian was so taken aback by the Bentley logo that he had instinctively tried to crash into a cheaper car. When he saw the Phaeton, he only recognized the Volkswagen logo and the car looked like a cheap Volkswagen, so he ran into it swiftly. Never did he expect that it had turned out to be the underrated Phaeton. When he thought of the car's price tag, $3 million, he was so depressed that he wished he could die right there and then. The parts-to-whole price ratio was an important element in a car that would reflect the auto maintenance cost in ordinary use. In other words, if the parts of a car were taken apart, the auto parts would be 2 or 3 times the price of the whole vehicle or even higher. After the collision, the Phaeton's 2 taillights, trunk, and anti-collision beams were severely damaged. It was an imported car too, so all its parts and accessories needed to be imported, and might cost hundreds of thousands to repair. Besides, his Audi was horribly damaged too. Audi was one of the brands with the highest parts-to-whole price ratio. If you dismantled the 500 grand Q5 according to the parts listed by the workshop, it would come to a total of $1 million and more. Just the 2 automatic headlights cost more than 60 grand. In addition, the front engine cover, water tank, radiator, and anti-collision beams were all gone, plus the 2 exploded airbags. He estimated that the insured cost would be around 200 grand. If he ran into a Volkswagen, the combined damage of the 2 cars would definitely not exceed $500,000, which would be covered under his insurance, and there was nothing to worry about. However, he had crashed into a Phaeton like a blind idiot. He estimated that the damage of the 2 cars might be close to $1 million. His insurance could only compensate up to $500,000, he had to figure out the rest of the money by himself. Ian felt as if the sky had crumbled upon him. He looked devastatingly at the owner of the Phaeton and said with a painful grimace, "Boss, why do you drive this car on the street? Are you trying to scam others? Did you just say that I'm a scam?" The man slapped Ian's face angrily and shouted, "You crashed my car, you are responsible for this, and you dare to say that I'm scamming you? Believe it or not, I can get someone here to chop you up with a simple phone call." Ian covered his face in shock and blurted as he reflexively stepped back, "You? How could you slap me? I can't slap you." The man cursed, "Do you have any idea who I am?" "I don't know," Ian shook his head sheepishly. The man grabbed Ian by the collar, pulled him closer to his face, and growled, "Look clearly. My name is Sean Murphy. Have you heard of my name?" Ian's face was as pale as a sheet of paper when he heard the name. Of course, he had heard of Sean Murphy. Don Stephen had 4 right-hand men which he called the 4 Great Guardians. Their position was just below Don Stephen, and they were his most powerful assistants.